So Donnie, what'd you do first thing this morning?
Well, you know, I grabbed my phone as normal and I turned it on, and of course the Tesla app came up and it says, you no longer have access to Sapphire.
Yep. So look, just to clear up a couple of things, I asked yesterday if that was to be expected because some people had talked on the forum like it was, and I was told absolutely not. That the delivery person needs to mark the car as delivered, and then there are several other checkboxes. One of them is state inspection, and some others that have to have been checked. And if they're all checked, then access doesn't go away and you're golden. But if one of the things isn't checked properly, then the access that was granted is a 24-hour access. So when they start prepping the car and they, you know, turn on the app access, the countdown sort of starts on the 24 hours. And if one or more of those isn't checked, then the access goes away. So not a big deal. Not a big.
It won't swipe to the other car.
I know it won't. So I contacted our wonderful delivery person, and he's going to check on it for us shortly, and I'm sure it'll be fixed right away. Just, you know, mentioning it as I see it on the forum all the time. It's not really a 3 specific thing. I think it can be S or X too. So yeah, they'll get it flipped back on and it'll be fine. We weren't going anywhere right away, and I assume we can still get into the car with the key fob if we wanted to drive someplace this morning. But we're gonna go watch our videos and eat some breakfast, maybe after that Chinese dinner last night. I don't know if we're hungry this morning or not. And then we'll go for a ride a little bit later, and I'm sure it'll be sorted out by then. All right, guys, are you ready? Ready to go for your walk? Yeah. It's time. If we gotta go, you gotta go. That's how it works at this house. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, they paid about as much as cat.
Did you get your paper? Good. Hi, Tux. Hi, Tuxie. Come on, buddy. I see you did come. Hey, Gray. Yeah, that storm we had the other night, all that rain brought down all this junk on the driveway. So we'll get out here and get this blown. So Sapphire will have a nice, clean driveway to go up and down.
We will get out here and blow this off?
Yeah, exactly. We. What does we translate to in our house?
Yes, that means me.
Well, if it's gonna get me bit up by mosquitoes, it means you.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, if it was November, I'd be glad to come do the driveway for you. Well, it's kind of like, let's get dinner cooked. Well, let's implies, you know.
Don, go out to the garage and get the meat. Don, I forgot the cheese. Don, we need eggs. Yeah. So, right, it is a we.
So I'm in Ruby. And the software update went on. I had scheduled it last night when we got home. And what's new in this update is the pin to drive. Since I am so in love with my self-presenting doors and stuff, I am definitely going to enable the pin. Because to me, once I'm in the car and I've set down my water and my camera and my pocketbook and all that other paraphernalia that I carried in the car with me every morning, I have no problem with putting in a pin. So we will set that up. So yeah, this is 2018.32.4. I'm in here trying to record my video.
Sapphire has a software update waiting.
You'll have to wait till we come back from our drive. To get to the pin to drive option, go to controls, and then settings, and then safety and security. And I'm going to turn it on, and it's going to ask me to put in my pin. So I have shut Ruby's door. I have put my foot on the brake. I've also put on the seatbelt because I was waiting for the chime to happen where she reminds me to put it on, and that's not good for you guys when I'm recording. But notice the car, even though my foot is on the brake, the car still says that she is off. And the enter the pin to drive has popped up over here. So the car's not going to do anything until I enter the pin. So over here on a way where you can't see, I am entering my pin in and pressing the allow button. And then you can see that she did come to life. So that seems to work quite well. So since it's our second day with Sapphire, our first full day of ownership, we're gonna take Sapphire out for a drive, and Ruby's probably gonna sit. Now don't fear, Ruby is not going to sit often, and probably when Don and I take trips or go places, we're usually gonna be in Ruby still, because that's our quote-unquote trip car. But today we're gonna take Sapphire out for a spin. So sorry, Ruby.
You have to stay home in the air-conditioned garage.
Yeah, I tell you. So I am gonna take Ruby out and redo the S-curve test with the 2018.32.4 and do the autopilot test. And I'm gonna do that tomorrow. That's my plan. Tomorrow I'm gonna let Dawn sit on the couch, but today we're out together. Our app access has been restored, but Dawn's phone app is not still quite working with the car, but he has got his key card, excuse me, working. Also adjusted the foam on the side for Sapphire so we can't damage the door, you'll notice. And we've got our act together, at least with the key card. That's what it's called, right? Key card? Key card. Yeah, with getting into the car, so we're good now. But app access has been restored just like we knew it would. And I'll try with my iPhone X and I could get in the garage. It's just easier for me to get in out here. Don has carried half my stuff to the car and the other half is still in my hands. Now Don has been being a gentleman and he's been reaching all the way over to my door to tap on the button so that it opens up just a little bit. And that at least makes it somewhat manageable for me, thank you Donnie, to get in the car since he can't open it for me. We decided also to wait until tomorrow to put in the floor mats because it's gotten a little late in the day, and those mats have clips and it's gonna take more than 5 seconds to just lay the mats in the car, so we'll get to that tomorrow too. So Don has been studying what Duke Energy Progress is doing with these poles. We had noticed a few weeks ago I had shown some video where they were doing work over here.
So those are called reclosers. They are automated. They basically, the old-fashioned fuse or circuit breakers would have to be manually reset. You know, if a limb fell across the line or something, it causes a short. The limb may fall off the line, but that short caused the fuse to blow. And so the power company would have to come out and reset the fuse or reset the circuit breaker. These reclosers are automated. They'll automatically close and reapply power. They also are part of the smart grid to reroute power around an outage. So this is a good thing. Duke is spending, what was it, $200 million over the next few years to do the grid improvements in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Ohio. They didn't go into great detail in the paper. I got this from the paper. But this is all basically hopefully making the grid more resilient.
And we have noticed some changes already as soon as they did that when we lost power at the house. Instead of having these up and down brownout kind of things, they seem to go off and then in a few seconds it just come back on.
Like 30, not 30, probably more than 10, probably less than 30. But it's just, the lights just simply, they didn't flash, they didn't blink, they just went dark. And then the lights didn't blink and come back on, they just came on. So much less transitions when we've had some type of power event at the house.
Hopefully safer for all of our electronic equipment if we haven't unplugged it. So we did not make an effort to charge Sapphire at home last night. She was fully charged to I think either 80% or 90% when we left Tesla yesterday. She currently has 209 miles, which is a lot of charge, so we're good. You can see that the little clock is up here, alarm clock, letting us know that we do need to put on a software update when we get home. Poor Dawn, only to go out to Sapphire and find out this morning that there was one available and not have had the chance to put it on. But Dawn is going to navigate us to our location now.
I'm gonna try. Oh, push. Navigate to S&T Soda Shop, Pittsboro, North Carolina. Looks good.
And 85 Hillsborough Street is where we want to go. So that's cool.
Way cool. We're good.
And let's see, it's 40 minutes, 31 miles. We'll get there and still have 57% charge. I don't see the round trip information here.
You have to do something to do that?
We did on the X.
Now turn right onto Wagstaff Road.
So I'll try to figure it out and see if that's possible yet on the 3 or not. But at this moment, it's on the X. You have to enable it. Yeah. So I'll see if I'll see if it's possible on the 3, and if so, we'll go ahead and do that. We know we have plenty to get back.
Right.
Because we have another Tesla to drive, Ruby the Model X, we have a few observations about the Model 3. Most are good. Don says he's very sure.
The regen on the Model 3 is much more aggressive than the Model X. And it might be that they've limited it to the same number of kilowatts, like 50 or 60 kilowatts maximum regen. But the difference is the Model 3 being 1,500 pounds lighter, a 60 kilowatt regen on a 4,000 pound car makes it stop a lot quicker than the same amount of kilowatt regen on a 5,500 pound car like Ruby.
And Don wanted better regen, so he's happy that it's braking better. Yeah, that's good. At this time, the Model 3 does not have browser support. Now, I don't use the browser a lot in Ruby. I only use it to show my photos. I mean, I like it as a screensaver, to turn the MCU into a screensaver when I know where I'm going and I don't need navigation and I just want a pretty picture up there. So I probably will miss that a little bit, but not the end of the world.
Turn right onto
I suspect they're eventually gonna add that. Just noting that that's a difference if you don't have experience with both vehicles.
Now turn right onto Cascade Road.
I muted the navigation. I cannot record videos with the navigation going. Don gets in the X and he's like, how am I supposed to know how to navigate if you have the sound turned off? And I'm like, well, it doesn't bother me.
Well, he knows. Like my sultry little sweetie talking to me.
He knows where he's going right now. It's later on than he needs the directions. So just for a few more minutes, Donnie. But anyway, I was gonna say, I Googled it and I can't figure out how to get round trip info on the navigation screen on the 3. Even in the X, it's complicated. You have to go into the apps and click on navigation and scroll to the bottom and enable it. I don't know why it doesn't just come enabled. And then after you do that, you have to know to scroll the little directions window down far enough to actually see it. So it's about as tricky to see the round trip information on the X as it possibly could be. And apparently on the 3, it's not here, at least not yet. I know that Tesla has its own EV trip planner, and there's a OEM, you know, there's others that were out there before Tesla did it. So there's ways to get that information, but at least it's not up on the screen. If that's incorrect and you know how to get it, please tell me. It's also possible, because we don't have on the very latest software update, that it's been added. So don't fuss at me. We're gonna put that update on tonight and we'll check again.
So some people have asked if I see the glare of the white in the windshield. Today is a super bright sunny day and I do not see the white glare. Now there's the whole dashboard, you know, there's a slight reflection, but the white itself is not reflecting in the windscreen.
As I look at the windshield in front of me, the white, where I see it, it's all the way for me at the very top. So it is not in my line of sight looking at the road at all. I have to look right underneath the sun visor. I see it.
Right.
Not something you're going to pay any attention to while you're looking at the road. And with all the glare out there, it's not something that's catching my eye. I've told Don in the X that I really don't appreciate, thank you Donnie, you just take off and throw me into my seat. Have some fun out here on this backcountry road near Sharon Harris nuclear power plant. This is where all the people have some fun, the bikers and the cars. I have told Dawn that I really would love to get rid of the carbon fiber that's up on my dash near the window. I see that carbon fiber in the dash cam all the time. I see it in my line of sight. It's a reflection that's down low versus this being up high. And it really bothers me, mostly from a photographer's and videographer's standpoint. I don't want it showing up in my dash cam. When I'm going into the sun, it shows up a lot. If I'm not going into the sun, not so much. But Dawn says there are air vents there, and it's not like you can just put flat black expel plastic there and get rid of it for me, because there's actually defrost air coming through there. I've got to live with it. So that on the X is way worse to me than this white is here. Love the carbon fiber in the X otherwise though. In the Model X, I really worry about things falling forward into the MCU and cracking the glass screen. And now that I've seen the service guys take it out and put in a new one, I kind of know that the bezel and the glass and how it all fits together. But yeah, that glass could get broken if something hits it, like my vlogging camera handle. If I stop quick, where's to fall forward, I try to keep it wedged between like my purse and the tissue box, so that can't happen and I can grab it easier. But I worry about that. So, because you know, it goes all the way down to the console and it's just susceptible to getting tapped by things. Well, now that we've been in the Model 3, I've already hit the side of the bezel on the MCU here a couple times too. So I have new different kind of worries about tapping it. I've already bumped it twice.
How are you bumping it?
I don't know. It's like right there, and I've got my camera and my phone and all this stuff, and I've already come over here and hit it a couple times. So I'm not gonna say that it's any better out of the way. As a matter of fact, for me, it might be more in the way in the 3, but we'll see. They both scare me about breaking them. Dawn was not racing, but we went to merge onto US 1 South, and there was a whole bunch of cars and no place to get over. So what's a person in a Tesla to do but punch it and go past the rest of the boys? So Dawn says Autopilot hasn't nagged him yet.
Yeah, she hasn't nagged me yet. She did, I didn't. She hasn't done an audio one. And I honestly, now that I'm on Autopilot, I got my speed set, and everything's just bebopping down the road here. I don't look over here. You know, the navigation would talk to me if I needed to turn. So at this point, it just doesn't really matter. I'm happy. I'm good. You know. As
you can see, Dawn's not going through any extra efforts to hold the wheel. He's very comfortable with the wheel.
Right. I mean, I'm not putting any real torque on the wheel like I have to do with Ruby. At this point, I would say, because I'm sure the nag's coming. I'm sure the nag's coming, but at this point I would say that it's not as sensitive, or it seems to be,
you're not having to play games to keep the alert from happening. The warning.
I don't have to monkey with the wheel quite as much as I do with Ruby. I mean, I'm sure she's gonna nag me every 30 seconds, but she's could detect my delicate touch.
Yeah, well, I've been recording and watching, and I haven't seen a nag either. We passed the state police officer over on the side of the road too.
But traffic aware cruise control is kind of handy. We were doing 75 following a car that was doing 75. The car saw the state trooper long before I did. They slowed down. I was just fixing to go around them, and I looked up and saw the state trooper up ahead. I said, oh, well, that's real handy. I'm only doing 66 now.
Yeah, because we slowed down because the car in front of us slowed down. Yeah, it's like just a little helpful thing there. Yeah.
So as long as the folks in front of you are paying attention, you probably won't get no tickets.
Dawn is desperate for the car to get in the left-hand lane to pass traffic when traffic in the right-hand lane is not going the speed limit. He's desperate for it.
Right.
Yeah. Me, not so much. I stay in the right-hand lane. I'm talking to Johnny, I'm listening to my book, I'm recording stuff for you guys. I, you know, just follow the car in front of me, stay a little bit below the speed limit, it's fine, we'll get to school eventually. Dawn yesterday morning, he's like out, or Thursday morning it was, he's out in the left-hand lane, passing traffic, griping about the car not, you know, wanting to move around the slow cars, and yeah. So I got choices today. Have the GoPro facing forward and get the pretty sky, or have the GoPro facing me and Dawn and get our expressions. Right. So you just missed the expression of him merging in, and a couple other times I figured I'd switch it around. I got enough sky for one day, I'll switch it around. We don't have a dash cam for the 3 yet, and we're trying to decide if we want to wait and see what Elon does with in-car dash cam capability, which will never be good enough for me wanting to do YouTube videos, or go ahead and invest in one. So So I tweeted this morning, and of course I tagged Elon and Tesla, and I basically said, look, we would have been willing to pay a premium if you just would have given us self-presenting doors on the 3. I mean, really, it would have been worth several $1,000s to me for these doors to work like the doors on the X work. If you've never had it, then you probably think that's ridiculous. But once you've had it and you've used it for a while, not so much. And hopefully those that have turned off self-presenting on the X for fear of their car being stolen with this new pin, they'll turn it back on, because the pin really should alleviate the additional concerns. Just make sure to keep your MCU screen wiped.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
So that's the historic Pittsboro courthouse in front of us here. And Highway 64, and all the traffic every day, all day, used to go around the courthouse. This is now 64 business.
Your destination will be on the left.
And so not too much traffic except for local traffic comes past the courthouse now. I admit, every time I go to get out, I am having to think here or here. I keep on telling myself it's this button. So Don was trying to close the console because we were driving, and he was pushing it forward, and he's pushing it forward, and it comes up and it says close console lid gently, like it knows he was messing. That's freaky.
It did know.
It did know.
There's no light.
Sapphire says you better be sweet to her.
Good right in school.
Yeah, I knew Main Street had a bunch of cool stuff, and I didn't realize just how cool. Alright, here's the storefront we were looking for. So the ceiling in here is that old tin type ceiling. It's just gorgeous. Well, I knew this place was popular, but who would have knew it was this popular? Don's in his element. He thinks he's gone back to Alabama. He's ordered him a corn dog because it's Saturday.
Saturday night. You asked my sister this Saturday night ain't the night to have a corn dog.
I have been really, really wanting some onion rings, and these look really, really good. After 10 pictures, I told Don he's allowed to start. We're sharing it, right, Donnie? Yep. So we highly recommend, if you're in Pittsboro, that you come here. Great staff, fantastic food, good sizes, reasonable price. The staff was awesome.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Well, he did share it with me, but it was still pretty large, and we left a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever left ice cream. Never had happened before.
Yeah,
so that's a split 4-way. The banana split, you got to split it 4 ways.
Sorry, Johnny. Maybe we'll come back sometime, buddy.
Yeah.
I feel for you. I'm so sorry. We missed you.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that I am not tempted to go in for a Frappuccino. So I was telling Don that the courthouse doesn't look like I remember it, and he said, "Kitten, that's because it burnt to the ground during a restoration effort, apparently back in 2010, and they had to completely rebuild it."
Yeah, it said the third floor and the clock tower of the Chatham County Courthouse was severely damaged by fire Thursday afternoon. Chatham County fire officials and the State Bureau of Investigations are looking into what caused the fire, which Pittsboro Fire Chief Gerald Griffin said started in the attic. The lower levels of the courthouse sustained major water and smoke damage.
So
yeah,
they had to really restore it. I guess it wasn't to the ground, but it was significantly damaged.
The bricks stayed.
The bricks, but the whole inside was gutted. Yep.
Right.
Well, I'm so glad they were able to restore it, though.
Okay, here we go. She's walking up to her. You see, she can get her to unlock. Yeah, you pull the handle. Nope. I thought you said yours was on the phone app.
Well, I don't have the Tesla app up. Do I got to have the Tesla app up and have talk to the car?
I don't know.
Hang on, I'm getting the Tesla. Don't get too close or you're going to do it.
Well, I don't think my phone works. I think the reason we drove over here is because of the key card in my pocket.
All right, updated just now.
Okay, so you're good.
But I had to bring up the Tesla app.
Yeah, okay. She's going to drive us partial way home. We're a little worried about the looks over there. That'd be called a thunderhead.
So it did not switch to me, so I'm going to switch it to me. Now, I did not set it up yesterday. Conveniently, it moved me forward a little bit, but not much. So now let me try to get myself adjusted. Wait a minute. It's got cruise follow distance at +3, which is what I have set on my profile in Ruby. Dawn has +5, and I guarantee if we switch back over here, it's going to show Dawn. So where'd that come from?
Yesterday.
Because it's not supposed to be in there yet, and I didn't set anything up yesterday.
And I didn't set the +3. I did go to this screen, but I did not.
+5 is the default.
Oh, +5 is the
and
default.
3 is a change, and
Okay.
I have it set at 3 because, you know, I'm not gonna get stopped by a cop. So, you know, your girl, I'm getting ready to take off, and oh my goodness, there's nothing in front of me. Now, see, Dawn's used to it because of the Scion and driving the XB around, but I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying I'm not willing to try it. I'm just saying, well, all that stuff's over here. Yes. So let's navigate the home because I'm not that familiar enough with Pittsboro to know how to get out of here.
Yep.
And all right. Well, it's like I don't know how to take off because I can't see that I'm in drive. But I'm in drive, but I can't see that I'm in drive.
Oh, the dash cam's getting all this. You just started a new clip.
That's right, I did. I'm in drive.
Yeah.
Oh, let's adjust the rear view mirror too.
You want this down too?
And I would like that down. Thankfully, they go down easier in this car.
They do go down a lot easier on this car.
Okay.
All you're going to do fine. Now there's a pole.
Yeah, don't floor it into the pole.
Don't floor it in. This is not the time to do the acceleration,
acceleration test. Okay.
Yeah, the speed limit through Pittsboro is 20 miles an hour.
Okay. Well, you know,
Okay.
I'm on TACC. I'm doing 55 so I can demonstrate. I'm going to double tap the speed limit sign, and it's going to take me up to 55 mile an hour.
Yep.
So double tapping the speed limit takes me up to the current speed on TACC or Autopilot.
And then you can do what with the scroll wheel?
You can flick it up to go up 5 mile an hour increments, or flick it down to go down 5 mile an hour increments. Or little tiny one click is 1 mile an hour at a time.
Yep.
I think I got it.
So we're going in. Sapphire might get wet. Then there's that thundercloud over there. Whee! Woo! Woo! Fun road.
One of the other names up for discussion was Maverick. I'll let you guys figure out why Maverick might have been up for discussion.
My girl has a need for speed. So we're on a road that we've never been on before.
Don's never been on it.
Excuse me, I've never been on this road before. It's pretty. We're in Moncure, North Carolina. Pretty stained glass. They have a post office. See? And look at there, there's the bank. So we're going down here, and we didn't want to do that launching Tesla Model 3 video because right here, these railroad tracks, baby, you hit these doing about 80, I guarantee launch. Now she can go. Get it, girl, go, 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 go. Ooh-wee, that girl, she likes speed. There's 60
Oh no,
on
there's another railroad. Michelle and I came exactly this route coming back from Emerald Point. Don't ask me how I got over there, but this is the exact road. It's been less than a month.
Yeah, my girl, she visits all the paper mills.
Well, I like back roads in North Carolina. It's better pictures.
Yeah.
This guy in the pickup truck behind me wants to know why I care about stopping at all the railroad tracks.
Yeah, well, he don't got 20-inch skeety ass tires on.
No, but he does have several kayaks strapped to the back of his vehicle.
Sounds like a personal problem.
We did beat the storm home. Sapphire's tucked into the garage. Dawn scheduled the software update to go on. Ruby's got her full charge, so she's not charging. And since we don't have charging hooked up on Sapphire's side of the garage yet, Sapphire's not charging either. But we still have, I'm sure, I didn't look, but I'm sure we still have 100 miles of range on Sapphire. So she's not that close. And it's off peak all day tomorrow, so we'll sort it out later. We wouldn't want to do the charging with the storm fixing to come through anyway.
Yeah, so went out after I had signed out and signed back in of the Tesla app on my phone.
Here in the house.
Here in the house. I went back out, and sure enough, the model Sapphire unlocked. When I put my hand on the handle and pulled it, it unlocked. In other words, just walking up to it, I guess, isn't what it's supposed to unlock anymore or something like that. It unlocks once you are there with your phone and you make some kind of a motion that implies that you want to get inside the car.
Don did exactly what he was supposed to do today. He took me for a drive, he got me something good to eat, and now he gets to watch college football and take a nap while I start working on our video.